Well, good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday. Haley, happy Saturday. How are you?
Happy Saturday.
Okay, that is definitely a reason to go to YouTube. We have been airing the show on YouTube. We're starting in a whole different manner than I intended to. I caught Haley so unaware. She did not know we were starting. You need to see on video.
I don't even know what I was doing with my face.
It was something. I've never seen anything like it. I didn't think people could do that with their face, but you were. Anyway, I hit go, and Haley was completely unprepared. Check it out on YouTube. Just go to YouTube, search for the Repcolite Home Improvement Show. We've got a lot of segments there. I think we started doing this back in July.
Right? Yeah, it's been a while now.
And what she just did is definitely worth checking out.
It's the whole reason to go.
And yeah, there's other reasons,
yes.
But that's a pretty big one.
No, it's very entertaining to watch on YouTube, actually. And it sounds a little like we're patting ourselves on the back, but I really think that it's just more entertaining. Like the reactions in conversation that you cannot see when we're on air it's something else.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. So definitely check it out. If you don't care for the show on air, maybe you'll like it on YouTube. Who knows?
Yeah.
Check it out. All right. There's one thing out of the way. Let's talk about what we got coming up today. At the end of the show, you're going to want to hang around for the whole thing because we're going to amend our big paint contest.
Right. Yeah. Right now we've got 10 winners that had won $150 in Benjamin Moore paint that are working on their projects right now. And eventually, they'll be posting before and after pictures, and everyone's going to go and vote on which project is the best.
Everyone will vote.
That is required.
It's a command. Right. And everyone who votes will be entered into a random drawing, and 3 of those voters will win $150 worth of Benjamin Moore paint. And that's all how the contest has been set up. That's all coming. I think the voting will start October 22, end around November 3. We'll have all those details coming up. We're changing it slightly.
There's a bigger prize for the voters now.
Right. The winners are competing to win a $1,000 home improvement prize package.
Right.
And we've opened that up also to one of these random voters.
Yeah, we just gave it away, didn't we?
We did. I just gave it away. Now you don't have to hang around to the end unless maybe we'll do something new. Who knows? Right?
Yeah, who knows?
Maybe something surprising is going to happen.
We'll add something else on, too.
But if you do have things going today and you can't make it to the end, realize the contest just got a lot bigger.
Yeah.
You got an opportunity to win one of these great big prizes just like one of those 10 lucky winners already.
Yes.
Okay?
And keep tuning in because we've got... just like today, we've got
Kelly Karp
from Landscape Design Services on the show talking about a number of services that you could put that $1,000 towards. So, yeah.
All of that is coming up in weeks to come. We wanted to amend that contest so that more people had a chance to win. So we've got Kelly Karp coming up. We're going to be talking about exterior paint projects, some common ones and some not so common ones.
Some questions
that we'll answer. And right now, let's talk about the painting window. And, as we head into fall.
Not painting a window.
No. Which we could talk about.
The time period in which you should paint.
Yeah, that's what I should have said. So what Haley just said is what we're going to talk about. Because heading into fall, that window changes. That amount of time to work outside changes. Now, painting in the fall is a great time to get a lot of projects done because the temperatures have dropped a little bit. It's nicer to work outside.
Right.
Working in the sun and the heat isn't just bad for us.
It's bad for the paint.
It's bad for the paint.
Yeah.
So this is a great time to get out there and wrap up some projects.
Because ideally, it'd be around 70 degrees when we're working on a project outside.
Yeah, that's the ideal situation. 70 degrees and low humidity. Mm-hmm. In the fall, we can certainly head into that 70 degrees, or in that range. The low humidity is something that we got to think about because we're going to have to adjust. We're going to have dew and rain and stuff like that. So that changes the times that we would work. And we're going to get to all of that. But the reason it's important to talk about is if you don't listen to what we're saying and you try to push this window and paint outside of the time that you should be painting, you could run into a number of different issues. You could have paint failure like surfactant leaching.
The color could be, inconsistent. You could have paint peeling. You could even have paint that's not forming the film correctly because of the temperature.
Right. And I should clarify, surfactant leaching is basically like a brown or a silvery.
Yeah. Like soapy material
that comes to the surface. Right. And it's not paint failure. You can just wash that off and you're good to go. I misspoke, Haley. And before we get the emails or anything, I wanted to clarify that can be cleaned off, but it's still not fun to deal with. And it all comes from painting in the wrong window of time.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that. Where do we start? Let's start with the low temp paints.
Yeah.
Right. So temperature. Ideally, it'd be 70. We know that isn't always the case as we move through fall. And latex paints have really changed over the years. And the technology has dramatically improved to the point where we can paint in really low temps now.
Like 35 degrees even.
Is what's stamped on the cans of Repcolite's Endura.
Benjamin Moore's Aura, Regal Select Exterior, Ben Exterior, all of those are 35 degree rated now. So that's definitely opened up the window quite a bit.
Now, we should clarify that when we're talking about low temp paints, it's not just the air temp that we're talking about.
Right.
We're also talking about surface temp. Right. That's absolutely critical, and it shouldn't be a surprise. You know, a black wall in the direct sun is going to be hotter than the air temperature, right? And also a surface in the shade may not be as warm as the air temperature. So surface temp plays into this whole thing, and you got to keep that in mind. Basically, a simple way to think about it is like this. Even with low temp paints, if you can make sure that you're painting in 40 degrees or higher for at least 24 hours.
Yes, that's the important part too.
Now, we got to clarify, because we don't have to be painting for 24 hours, like I said. People probably got that, but I'm a completionist, and I want to make sure we're right there. The temperature has to be 40 degrees or higher for at least 24 hours when you're painting.
Yes.
All right? That would be a really good rule of thumb. Now, all right, what about moisture? How do you deal with the dew and all of that? Basically, it's adjusting the times that you start, right?
Right, yeah. If you can start at around 11 a.m. and finish by 4, you're giving enough time in the morning for that dew to have evaporated and the house to be dry. And if you finish by 4, there's enough time for that paint to be drying. And
before the dew sets in and all of that,
exactly.
And you deal with surfactant leaching or issues along those lines. Now, what about rain? Because we never know what we're going to get as fall deepens.
You've got to pay attention to the forecast for
sure. And most of the time, those are pretty good.
Yeah, they're decent.
If they're not good, there's not a lot you can do, right? But pay attention. So what if I've got rain coming up? Like rain's coming up in 6 hours. Don't paint.
No.
Rain's coming up tomorrow morning. What do you think? Haley says
wouldn't.
no. What is your window then, Haley? How far away is far enough away for the rain?
Ideally, like 48 hours.
48 hours. So keep an eye on all of that, on the weather. Paint within that 11 to 4 window. Use one of those products that we recommended. And by all means, first and foremost, before you jump into a fall project like that, stop out at any Repcolite or Port City Paints. Talk to us about what you're doing.
Right.
Ask any questions. We'll clarify and get you off on the right foot at the right time. All right. I think that sums everything up.
Yes.
All right. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll be in the studio with Kelly Karp from Landscape Design Services. That's all just ahead. Stay tuned.